Hi there, this is Brett Doty. I wanted to talk to you about our LEAD program. We've obviously got excited about how we can see the leads working. We know that it's an opportunity, but we now have to execute it. So I wanted to create this video to help identify the next steps and create a platform to work from. So let's take a look at those steps. Our goal is to organize the leads, group and create routes, then deliver the packets, following up with the visit, and then it's standard real estate contact management, which is the key to this program. I can't stress it enough. So let's look at each. We'll be receiving 3 lists: property address list, routing list, and owner's mailing list. I'm going to go through each one of them and explain how they'll work and how to put them together so that you can use each one seamlessly. The property address list provides the input to create the map and the routing of all the properties. The next is the routing list, and that's what we're going to use to build out each group and route them together. You'll see that we'll be able to drop them once we have all the properties dropped in. We'll be able to put them onto this sheet and break them up into their groups. The last is the owner's mailing list, and that's what will be used to mail out to the owners to see about potential listings and doing CMAs for them. That's a whole separate scenario to work from. The first is the property address list. This is an Excel list that can be used to input the addresses into the routing application. I used Mapline. You could use whatever you want, but it'll plot all the addresses on, and then you can group them into groups of 20 to 30. Let's take a look at how this works. Basically, Mapline, you're going to come in, you create a Mapline name. It's a very simple procedure. Then once you have that, you're going to add addresses to it. So all you do is hit add and upload spreadsheet. That'll give you the opportunity to, then you highlight all of your addresses, right click to copy, and then go into the box, right click to paste. You can name it whatever you want. And then we're going to do a verify address columns just to make sure all the data is in the appropriate columns. And then we'll hit OK. And then we'll hit OK again. This is going to load all of those properties onto the map, and it'll put them where they are located on the map. The nice thing is you'll be able to see the address of every property and where it's located with the pins. So you got to scroll down to get into it. But once you have it, I like to set up my Excel sheets next to my working sheet so that I can view it side by side and work that way. But that's going to give you all of the properties. As you can see, they just drop right on, and then you will be able to group them together just by visually picking out a standard route to kind of look at. Say, okay, I'm going to work that area first, and then I'll move on to the next one. But I'll show you how now to build the route and create the next section. All right, routing. This is in order to create an order which to deliver the packets, and let's take a look how to do it. So we take our routing list, and what we're going to do is we're going to highlight and we're going to find the different addresses on our map, and we'll be able to correlate them. So the first thing we'll do is we'll highlight our street address. We'll sort it alphabetically, expand the selection always, and now we have everything in alphabetical order. So as we find addresses, for example, Fletcher, we got a couple on Fletcher. We can go down, we can scroll down, find Fletcher, and put in number 1 and number 2 because they're basically right next to each other. Then we can go on to Sebring. We can scroll down, find Sebring. We got 2 there. And so there's 3 and 4, and then we just continue on filling them in until we have the amount we want to put into our first group. I've accelerated a timeline so we don't have to watch it all the way. So then what you can do is you highlight the routing column. You go over to that same one, which is sort and filter, and it'll sort from smallest to largest. Expand the selection. That means for all the columns. Now you have all of those in order as you viewed them on your map, and you can screenshot that area so that there's your first group that you're going to go out and see, and you can cut and paste that to a sheet to work from. You copy and paste. Then you can also do again the same thing with the map of the area that you had selected that was your group, whatever it is. And that way you have a visual of where all those properties were on a map. It just makes it easy to work from. Then what you can do is you can highlight the rows for those 20 and then hit right click and delete. Now what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of those ones that you've already done. It reduces the area that you have to look at and filter through. So it makes it nice. Now I talked about screen capturing. It just makes it easy. I use Jing, but there's Jing and Snagit. Jing is free. It's got limited features. Snagit costs $50, but it's more robust. But it's a great tool that you could use every day in your business. So I'd recommend it. So now you've cut and pasted, and now you have all of your routes built out. Like I said, it just makes it easy to see your route 1 through, in this case, 25. You could see the properties on the map. It's just a very clean and concise way to do business. You're not guessing. You're not running around trying to figure out where to go next. You're looking at a map and you're moving forward. All right, let's talk about time. I put this together because I wanted to fine-tune and determine the best practices to make this the most efficient way of doing business. It took me 2 hours to complete all of the routing of those 160 leads. That was from uploading the leads to the finished product. Delivery of the packets is going to take roughly 1 to 1.5 hours. So you go out in an afternoon and you knock it out in an hour or so. And then the follow-up, I mean, I can't say that's where you really want time to stand still. You want to spend as much time as it takes with each lead to generate that rapport and create that relationship. That's where the money is made, is spending that time. Everything is done with relationships. So at the end of the game, we know that leases are typically 1 year long. That means that everyone has an expiration that you meet of 1 year or less that they have to make a life change. So referring back to those 3 reasons that people lease, they're going to be sorted in one of those categories, and a good number of those are going to be buying in the next 12 months. So we just need to identify them and make it work to your advantage. And then lastly, leave something behind. I've said that before, but I want to say it again because I think this is where you start also creating the relationship. As I like Home Scout. You can use one of your own, but you want something where there's no ads and there's no competitors trying to get your business, like Zillow or Realtor.com. But you'll have a behind-the-scenes dashboard to see what they're looking at and keep track of it. This can be co-branded so that it looks as if it's yours to work with as well. And at the end, it's all about creating rapport. It's all about the time and the contact management, follow-up. But this is a great program that I'm seeing great success with, and I want to make success with you. So thank you.